So we went 1 through 11 last week. We're doing 12 through 20 today. We're still in our series called Out, living as what in what? Church in a broken world. Living as a church in a broken world. Man, mercy sakes alive, that gets difficult sometimes, don't it? Let me tell you, when we get to the bottom end of this sermon, whew, where do we stop living as a church at? Where do we stop? Where do we draw the line? Where's it okay to not live as the church? Never. And I'm going to tell you, it got about 1:30 last night. Now these last pictures, AI was just not listening to me at all. It was apparently tired. And I was tired. And my patience was about that far. But I realized something. Called out, living as a church in a broken world doesn't ever stop. It doesn't ever stop. Even at home. Even at home. Today is Paul talking about you do not belong to yourself. Right? How many of you, let's see, how many of you could not wait till nobody could tell you what to do anymore?
I still do.
Yeah. Yeah, I could not wait till my daddy couldn't tell me what to do anymore. My son couldn't wait till his daddy couldn't tell him what to do anymore. And then we found out something. People still tell you what to do. And no matter what. Julie will tell me what to do. A lot of times she's telling me that for my own good. 71, they still tell you what to do. It happens. Your boss still tells you what to do. No, my boss don't tell me. I am the boss. Then the people who pay you tell you, I guarantee it. You never get away from it. You are not your own. So if you are not your own, where or who or what do you belong to? Where or what or who do you belong to? And probably if I ask most of the husbands in here, including Chris right now, they'd point to their wives. But that's not necessarily, he's chuckling back there, he knows it, yeah. Belong to each other, but here's the thing. You are not your own. We have this thing today called my body, my choice. We see this a lot, right? My body, my choice. I can do with my body what I want to do. Right? That's what they tell us. It's your body, it's your choice. Do what you want.
Pay the consequences.
And see, that's the problem. You're going to pay the consequences because it is. A few years ago, I discovered something. Age. Age. I went running from the dog, because our dog will chase you if you have one of her toys. And I jumped off the steps, about 3 feet high. Cleared all the steps, was going to land in the living room perfect and keep running, right?
Nope.
It would have happened perfectly had I still been Kane's age. But at 40, when I landed, something went in my knee. And then I had to fight the dog off of me for a few minutes as I laid there and winced in pain. And then my beautiful wife goes, "Do you want some ice for that? Is there anything I can help you with?" And I said, "No, it'll be better in a little while." 6 weeks. I hobbled on that knee for 6 weeks. My body, my choice, right? It was my choice to jump off that ledge. I had that choice. You know what I don't do now? Jump off steps. I remember when we were kids in swing sets, getting to swing as high as possible. so that you could jump out at the very peak. I wouldn't do that now. But it's my body, my choice, right? It's also my hospital bill. It's like I tell Isaac when he comes to visit now, and he'll get to roughhousing a little bit with his sister. I'll say, look, if she hurts you, that's fine. It's your health insurance now. But if you hurt her, I still have to pay for it. Can you stop? My body, my choice. And yet we see Paul writes here to the Corinthians and brings this radical, counter-driven challenge to that perspective. He said, no. You don't own yourself. You don't own yourself. It's not your body, your choice. And so that brings up an interesting concept. Renting versus owning. How many of you have ever rented anything before? How many of you have ever supposedly owned anything before? Like I supposedly own my house right now, but it really belongs to me and Julie and the bank and the government and anybody else that apparently wants to take a piece out of it. But supposedly there's some differences in there. Can we think of some of those differences? I put up painting and repairs. So if you're renting someplace and you don't like the color, what do you mean you can't paint it, Ellen? What do you mean?
Landlord says no.
The landlord says no. It doesn't belong to you. Now, the beauty of renting, though, is repairs are up to who? Supposedly. Yeah. Hold on to that thought. We're going to come back to that. Repairs, or hopefully my mind will come back around to that. Repairs are up to landlord. What about remodeling? Can you remodel?
No.
You can't remodel if you rent, but you can remodel if you... You can't repair if you rent, but you have to when you own. You see? She's already getting it.
Well, that's because we haven't got that.
But there are some differences. Paul reveals we are actually tenants in a home that has been legally purchased by a new master. Who owns your life? It's interesting, isn't it? Interesting concept. Have you ever thought maybe you're renting this body? Have you ever thought about that? Man, I wish I'd have picked out a better looking one to rent. Right? Yeah, one of them movie star bodies would have been nice, so I could have landed one of them roles. Maybe on Baywatch, Y'all would love to see that now, wouldn't you? Here's the thing. Paul says you don't own your body. You're renting it. You don't own it. You're renting. Let's look here at our verses. Everything is permissible for me, but not everything is beneficial. It was permissible for me to go running and jump off them stairs. It was not beneficial. Right? Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be mastered by anything. My dad used to tell me that for generations, our forefathers had a statement that we had passed down. Don't ever let anything be more of a man than you are. Same concept, isn't it? Everything is permissible for me, but I will not be my master. Food is for the stomach, and the stomach for food. And God will do away with the both of them. Don't need food in heaven, do you? That's going to be such a shame. There are some things I'm going to miss, right? At least I think I will. Cheesecake, pound cake, bacon. So I can never be a Muslim. I love bacon. Food is for the stomach, and the stomach for food. He doesn't say food is for what? He doesn't say food is for pleasure. He doesn't say food is for you to keep eating way beyond what you need, does he? He He says it's for the stomach and the stomach for food, and God will do away with both of them. However, the body's not for sexual immorality, but for the Lord, and the Lord for the body. Everything's for God. Here's the thing. But I thought God set us free, Paul. I thought when we were bought with that price, we were set free from bondage, Paul. You are. You are. Because now everything's permissible. How many of you remember when you got your car? You got your driver's license, or you got a key to mom and dad's car, or you were allowed to know where the key was kept. And now you can do what? You can drive. You can leave mom and daddy's house without who? Mom and daddy.
No.
And that truck you got the keys to has 4-wheel drive. Oh boy. Has 4-wheel drive in it. And you're with your buddies one night, and they're putting theirs in 4-wheel drive. You put yours in 4-wheel drive, and then you want to show off a little bit because, you drive a full-size truck, and it's got a 4-wheel drive low. Somehow you managed to get it in 4-wheel drive low, but you can't get it back out. Some of y'all laughing. I don't know who that happened to. I had the freedom. I had a driver's license. I had been given keys to the car. I was allowed to do what? Go drive it. But I didn't have a license to what? Just put it in 4-wheel drive and tear it up. See, freedom is not a license to do whatever you want to do. Everything's permissible, but not everything's beneficial. Everything's permissible, but not everything's beneficial. The Corinthians were starting to twist the grace of God into an excuse to sin. I'm saved, right? Jesus paid the price. How many of you ever had anybody move in with you? Stay for a little while. You're helping them out. You're paying all the bills, right? Kids. They're the worst freeloaders in the world. My gosh. It's like they move in and don't leave out for 18 years. Jeez. And they leave the lights on. My goodness. They'll take the longest, hottest showers. Not her, her brother. I don't know why. He's fair skinned. He come out looking like a lobster every time he took a shower. Here's the thing. He didn't pay the bill, did he? People mistake when you don't pay the bill, do they? Well, what if they went behind and turned the lights off? What if every time they looked, they checked the thermostat and made sure it was perfect for right then? See the difference? The Corinthians are twisting the grace of God into an excuse to sin. I've already been paid. Jesus paid the price. Now I can do anything I want to do. Wait, what? Cleston?
Not the way it works.
Not the way it works. Jesus is going to give me a new body. What's that song? I'll have a new body. Pray. You know what I'm talking about, right? Some of y'all do. So why take care of this one, right?
No.
Let me ask you something. She's right. Let me ask you something. Somebody gives you something and you fail to take care of it. You think they're going to give you another? They're not. The Corinthians were twisting the grace of God into an excuse to sin. If you just do whatever your urges dictate, you aren't free. You're now a slave to what? The urges. You're now a slave to something else. many of you ever heard of somebody who goes to jail and then they get out and they want to go back? It happens all the time, don't it, Jay? They're a slave to the system. They become a slave to the system. Institutionalized is what they call it. But really, this is what it is. Do whatever your urges dictate. You aren't free anymore. You're a slave to whatever you're a slave to. Imagine this. Hey, Mason, you like this right here? Don't you don't think that'd be effective?
No.
He said no. So why would they even do that? Here's the thing. This sports car is designed to be driven where? On paved roads. If we treat it like a 4x4, what do we get? You get stuck. You probably just tore up a $200,000 plus automobile that's going to cost you way more than it's already worth. You're using something for something it was designed to. Now, men, raise your hand. How many of you have ever driven a nail with a wrench? It's not a tool designed for that, is it?
Nope. That's all you got.
But if that's all you got. But here's the thing. You want to use the right tool the right way. Now come back to our bodies. Here we go. God raised up the Lord and will also raise us up by his power. Don't you know that your bodies are a part of Christ's body? So should I take a part of Christ's body and make it a part of a prostitute?
No.
Right. Absolutely not. Not absolutely. Absolutely not. Don't you know that anyone joined to a prostitute is one body with her? For Scripture says the two will become one flesh. But anyone joined to the Lord is one spirit with him.
No.
Anyone joined to the Lord is one spirit with him. You are a member of Christ. You're a member of Christ. You're part of Christ. When we engage in bodily sin, we are committing spiritual treason because we are united to him. What is it we say? When you get married, you shouldn't cheat. Somebody read my brain. Yeah. You shouldn't cheat, right? If you're on a diet, you shouldn't cheat. If you're in a relationship with someone, you shouldn't cheat. Ponder that for just a moment. Well, now, wait a minute. If I'm in a relationship with God,
You shouldn't cheat.
right. From the mouths of babes. In a relationship with God, you shouldn't cheat on God. Well, how do I cheat on God? When you do things to your body and soul that are not scriptural.
Nope.
You following it here? When you do things to yourself that are not scriptural. Right? And it's a lot of things. And a lot of things we don't think about. But think about a wedding ring for a moment. I want you to understand this. Think about a wedding ring. Now, my wedding ring, I don't have it on right now, but my wedding ring has 2 dates underneath it. 2 dates. Why? Why would my wedding ring have 2 dates on it? Hey, you've been married twice, Pastor? And used the same ring? Nope. I've only been married once. To the same woman for 20-some years. Proud of that. I am. I picked right to start with. Yes, I picked her. She did not pick me. Trust me. The reason it has two dates is because it has the date of our wedding and it has the date of my ordination. And I asked her permission to put my ordination date in the bottom of that ring when we got married, or when I became ordained. She said yes. Because here's the thing, that wedding ring is the same covenant I had with her that I now have with God.
Yes.
You follow the connection? And technically, it's not just ordination date. The date that I became a part of Christ's family, a part of Christ's body should actually be on there, shouldn't it? Now, that wedding ring, does it really mean anything to anybody else? If I was to give my wedding ring to Cleston here, would he think of it? What would he think of it as? My wedding ring is not precious metal. It's actually, I think it's some kind of stainless steel, some kind of alloy, and that's because it had to be tough for me. I'm tough on those kinds of things. But to him, it's not worth anything, is it? It has no metallic value because it's not a precious metal. But to me, it has what? It has a status symbol. It has the weight of those covenants on it. Because that wedding ring, now it's not the original one, that wedding ring it symbolizes my marriage to my wife. And then when I became ordained and I had that second date added and crosses engraved across the top, it added another symbol for me, didn't it? It carries the weight of that covenant. If I treat those covenants like trash, then what have I got? Trash. What is it, guys, they say about wives? If you give your wife a house, she'll give you a home. If you give your wife ingredients, she'll bake you a cake. But if you give her garbage, she'll give you garbage. If we trash our relationships, they have no meaning. They have no meaning. A man asked me one time, he said, you claim to be a mechanic. I said, well, technician, but yeah, go ahead. He said, is it better to wash my car or change my oil? I said, wash your car. He said, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. What kind of technician are you? I said, if you wash your car, you'll want to change your oil. But I've seen 1,000 cars had oil changed in them and looked like a wreck. Chris probably has too. But you see the people who wash their cars, they generally what? Take care of it. They generally care for it. Why? I guarantee you this. Hey, Chris, do you wipe your tools down at the end of the day?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Why do you do that?
Depends on what's on them.
But why do you wipe them down?
Clean them off, but if it's old, leave it go.
Well,
So they
yeah,
don't rust.
so they don't rust. He's paid high for them. He's invested in them. They're part of his livelihood. He doesn't want them to what? Rust and go to the bad. Let me tell you, there's nothing worse in this life, and if you've never experienced it, I invite you to get a wrench stuck on a bolt and have the wrench break on you, and your fist gets crammed into the block of a Detroit Series 60. That's the last time I bought Harbor Freight wrenches. Nothing wrong with them. Just sometimes you need a little bit more alloy. You need a little bit stronger. Here's the thing. It carries a weight when you buy a tool that has a good name. When you see a car that somebody's taking care of. You trash your wedding ring. You trash your what? Your marriage. It's the things we care about that you can tell. 18 through 20. Flee sexual immorality. Every other sin person commits is outside the body, but the person who is sexually immoral sins against his own body. Don't you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought at a price, so glorify God with your body. Here's the thing. I'm going to add one more to this stuff here. What about jealousy? See, there are certain sins that really do they get in your mind. And they start playing with things, don't they? Jealousy's one of them. Anger. Woo! Don't raise your hand to this. How many of y'all got somebody you mad at and you don't remember why? But you'll never talk to that person again in your life. Oh! I've got a whole list. Y'all don't have a list? Oh, yeah, you do. You know it. You know there's some people you're like, if that rascal's going to heaven, I'd rather not be there. Some of you are shaking your heads. Some of you are not moving a muscle right now. This is what the great thing about being a pastor is. You can say things and then read people's faces. Boy, woo! Here's the thing. There are certain sins that are not soul drenching, and then there are certain ones that are. Now, Paul's making a distinction here. Christ never makes a distinction on sin. Christ says sin is sin. God says sin is sin. It all boils down to disobedience. It's doing what I did not tell you to do. Right?
Yeah.
That's right. So Paul comes back here, absolutely. You were bought at a price, so glorify God with your body.
Yep.
It's funny, I forgot my belt yesterday when we went out. So I had to buy me a new one. I've got it on this morning. Love it. It's my favorite new belt. You know why? It stretches. Because I got to thinking, I was like, why do I need a belt that stretches after I'd already bought it? Oh, that's right. Because sometimes I like to have a second or third piece of pie. Right? Is that glorifying God? Actually, no, it's not. Pluston's right. It's actually sinful for me to do that. Well, my Kane go sit in the back. He's up here.
I'll sit back here. I kid you, Kane.
Here's the thing. You can look at Kane and go, he obviously goes to the gym. He takes care of himself. Same thing with a car. You see a car that's washed, you think what? They obviously take care of the car. Now watch, every car in the parking lot will be washed next week, folks. There won't be a single dirty car here except mine. Here's the thing. Glorify God with your body. You were bought at a price. You were bought at a price. What's that old comedian? Well, I know I have to, when you talk about having to verify, call in and pay his power bill, he verified everything. He said, somebody wants to call in and they want to pay my bill. Why won't you let them? Right? Same thing. Jesus has already paid a price. You were bought at a price. Paul hits them with this forensic legal reality here. In the Roman market, a slave was bought and sold for a price. Everything at a price, even human lives in the Roman market. A squash, that's on my mind right now because I brought some for y'all today. A squash had a price, right? If you go to the farmer's market today, it still has a price. Go to the grocery store, a tomato has a price. Everything had a price, even human lives. It still does to this day. Here's the thing, the slave was bought and sold for a price, and you were purchased for freedom. Imagine a master who goes to the slave market, pays an exorbitant price. What do you mean an exorbitant price, Pastor? He died for us. It's been said many, many times, there's only two entities in the world who's ever been willing to pay this kind of price for us. Jesus Christ and the American soldier. Think about it. Especially you guys that are veterans, you know exactly what we're talking about here. Imagine a good master goes to the slave market and pays an exorbitant price to buy a slave, not to work them, I know it says to work them to death, but not to even work them, not to even put them to work in a slave and labor. But to set them free. Imagine if we went right now, all of us, and went and picked out a name of somebody in prison right now, and we worked and we got that person set free. How should that person be? Should they owe any allegiance to the true owner? Would you not feel like you owed the master something? Every time you choose to honor God with your body, you're confirming your allegiance to your true owner.
Yes.
Every time you don't, you're what? You're trashing it. This is tough, folks. Sometimes we don't realize what we're doing. Who is our master? What is our master? I love this picture right here in the middle. What do you think their master is? Technology. Is technology bad? It can be if you're worshiping it. But if you're not worshiping it, is it bad? Is it bad if you're not worshiping? No. What about alcohol, folks? Oh, I love to ask Baptists this one.
Can be.
Lutherans will tell you, no, alcohol ain't bad at all.
Can be.
It can be. I had a good friend of mine who worked in pharmaceuticals. And you know what he told me? He said, it's incredibly funny. You guys can go look this up. He said, cocaine and morphine are the same class. But cocaine can be given to recover from pain. And it's cocaine, not crack, folks. Okay? Cocaine. And there's no residual effects. But morphine you have to be weaned off of. What's the difference? One God gave, one man made. Coming back to this, what's our master? Even cocaine, though, that God made can become a what? An addiction. It can become your master. Money's the easy one. Boy, we talk about that all the time, right? See, this is a double-edged thing here that Paul's talking about. He's talking about defiling yourself with sinful nature, but he's also talking about you should have no other gods before me. Don't you love how Paul slips that just like an undertone there? Because now what Paul's saying is, okay, so you should take care of your bodies so that you owe an allegiance, because you owe an allegiance to that person who paid the price for you, who set you free. And he set you free so you can worship him in your freedom and don't become a slave to something else. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. You go back and you look at the documents that founded this country. And what was the role of the President of the United States? Anybody know what the role was originally, President of the United States? To negotiate, not sign, but negotiate foreign treaties. Is that all the president does now? No. And in fact, he's become more like, or she or he, that position has become more like a temporary king. Why? We're built for a master, folks. That's the thing. We're built for a master. We're built to serve something. God, really. But we begin to put these other things in our place because we do things to ourselves. We create sin, and those sins we become slaves to. And there's habits, desires, or any choice mastering me. Here's what I want you to start asking yourself. Is there anything I can't say no to? Well, I can't say no to my kids. Who? I'm not talking about food, folks. If you're hungry, feed your kids. But they shouldn't need every electrical gadget out there known to man and God. And since when does a 12-year-old need a brand new iPhone? You cannot say no to it. You're not free. You're a slave to it. And we have to be honest about who or what is actually mastering us. You following? You're set free. You were bought at a price. Glorify God with your body. Freedom is not a license to do whatever you want. Your lives were purchased at the highest cost imaginable. Can you imagine any other cost other than your life? We are a walking sanctuary. The Holy Spirit dwells within you. Something we got to work on, folks. Each one of us. Everybody, if you think about it, you've got something in your life that is something that is controlling you. It is something you are bound by. Mine right now is food. Julie will tell you she buys groceries on Saturday, and by Monday she's like, what happened? Well, we see what happened. Right? We're a walking sanctuary. The Holy Spirit dwells within us. This week, identify one area of your life where you have been renting your body to your own selfishness. You mean I got to eat more broccoli this week, Pastor? No, not necessarily. That may not be your problem. But if there's anything you can't say no to, going back to Chris and I, Chris is, technician, I've been a technician. Chris and I'll tell you, there are those guys who could not stay off the tool trucks. They couldn't. Now, I like to go on there and look. But all I had for an allowance was $20 a week. My wife would give me $20 a week to buy my food. So I started packing my lunch and buying tools. But there are guys who are on there running up all kinds of bills. They're renting themselves to Snap-on. I knew guys in the industry, and Chris Partey, the same thing. They might as well just have their boss give their paycheck to the tool guy. Don't even touch it, just give it to him. What were they doing? That had become their master. That diesel truck pulled in, and they went running out. We all have things in our lives. So what we need to start doing right now is begin to go, God, I want you to be the master of everything in my life. I'm starting to hand over. And if you can't do it all, do it one at a time. One thing at a time. Stop renting your mind and your body to things that didn't pay a price for you. Hostess never paid a price for me. Right? So we're going to bow our heads and close our eyes. We're going to talk to God about these things right now. So here's the thing. We don't want anything being a master over us other than Jesus Christ. Because if he was willing to give his life for us, that means he cares about us. He was willing to pay a price because he cares. This other stuff we're renting ourselves to, go ahead and bring on the music. This other stuff we're renting ourselves to, it ain't paid a price for us. Not at all. Talk to God about that right now.
Mine are days that God has made. tears in times of sorrow, darkness none yet understood. Through the valley I must travel, where I see no earthly good. But mine is peace.
Oh God, we can't do it on our own. We need you, God. We realize you paid that price. Paid that price to set us free. God, we enslave ourselves to other things. Lord, help us. Remind us. Show us these things that we have become slaves to, that we have put on a worship where you should be. God, we don't want to worship sin. Show us how to be set free. In your name.